You are traveling at 65 miles per hour through total darkness. Your field of vision is restricted to a narrow cone of artificial light. When an animal steps into that cone, your brain has a fraction of a second to process the threat, signal your foot to brake, and steer away from a collision. This chart illustrates standard traffic fatality rates. While daytime collisions maintain a steady baseline, the risk of a fatal crash spikes dramatically after sunset. The reason is physiological. The human eye evolved to navigate complex environments under the full spectrum of daylight, moving at a walking pace. We are biologically unequipped to process high-speed spatial information in the dark. Surviving the night requires the active calibration of three critical variables: the mechanical state of the vehicle, the physical constraints of the environment, and physiological readiness of the driver. Operating heavy machinery under sensory deprivation is a distinct physical challenge. It demands that you actively preempt hazards before they materialize, rather than relying entirely on passive reaction. Preparing your vehicle for low visibility is an exercise in optical calibration. The first barrier between your eyes and the road is the windshield. Through clear glass, light waves from oncoming traffic pass linearly, maintaining a sharp image. But hitting microscopic grime and streaks on the surface, the light scatters chaotically, resulting in a massive, blinding bloom of glare. Preventing this optical distortion requires a rigid mechanical checklist before departure. Thoroughly wiping down the windshield, the side mirrors, the front headlights, and the rear taillights ensures that light enters and exits the vehicle exactly as intended. Once the exterior is clear, the focus shifts inside the cabin. In a dark environment, your pupils naturally dilate to absorb as much ambient light as possible. Here, we see a fully dilated pupil maximizing night vision. But the moment a bright interior light source, like an illuminated dashboard screen, is introduced, the pupil sharply constricts. This biological reflex severely handicaps your ability to process faint details. To protect your natural night vision, you must manually reduce the brightness of all interior screens and gauges to their absolute lowest readable level. Clearing the exterior glass and darkening the interior cabin work together to optimize the vehicle's optics. It is the necessary baseline for maximizing the biological hardware of your own eyes. Even with perfect night vision and clear glass, your environmental awareness is constrained by one hard limit: the fixed illumination distance of your headlights. At 65 miles per hour, stopping distance stretches far beyond standard headlight range. If a hazard exists just beyond that light, mathematical certainty dictates the car will strike the object before halting. This is overdriving your headlights. The only method to synchronize the physical stopping power of the car with the visual range of the driver is to reduce speed. Slower speeds pull the braking distance safely back inside the illuminated cone. When extreme weather patterns like heavy rain or fog enter the environment, that already limited visibility zone compresses even further. Operating safely under these conditions requires immediate physical adaptation. Following distances must be exponentially increased, while defrosters and wipers must be actively utilized to preserve whatever visual field remains. In dense fog, engaging high-beam headlights actually worsens the situation. The intense light reflects directly off the suspended water droplets, creating an opaque visual wall. Low beams are strictly required to cut beneath the moisture and illuminate the asphalt. Safely navigating a dark, unpredictable environment comes down to manipulating your speed and spatial buffers. By adjusting these variables, you are buying yourself the single most valuable asset in an emergency: reaction time. With the machine optimized and speed adjusted, the final variable is the driver. You must maintain an active, continuous scan of the road edges, watching for crossing animals, pedestrians in the road, or unlit cyclists. During that scan, one of the most immediate threats is oncoming traffic. High-beam headlights can induce temporary retinal blinding, erasing spatial awareness in an instant. Proper headlight etiquette requires proactively dimming your own high beams well before another vehicle approaches, maintaining the visual integrity of everyone sharing the road. When an approaching driver fails to dim their lights, you must protect your own vision. Avert your direct focus away from the glare and track the solid white line on the right edge of your lane. This anchors your spatial positioning without burning out your retinas. Even without oncoming glare, a severe internal threat remains: driver fatigue. Darkness and the monotony of the road create a state of sensory deprivation, tricking the human brain into accelerating its own exhaustion. Heavy eyelids, drifting across lane markers, and delayed cognitive responses are clear biological warnings. The only acceptable intervention is to safely pull into a rest area, stretch, hydrate, and sleep before continuing. Perfectly maintained brakes and carefully adjusted speeds offer zero protection if the central nervous system operating them is compromised by temporary blindness or biological exhaustion. Even with precise preparation and constant vigilance, mechanical components fail and environments turn hostile. For those moments, you must possess a dedicated failsafe. A nighttime emergency kit is mandatory survival equipment. It must contain a reliable flashlight, reflective warning triangles, a first aid kit, jumper cables, a portable phone charger, a thermal blanket, and bottled water. Equipped with this failsafe, the logic of the night drive falls into place. It requires clear exterior optics, a dim interior cabin, a speed synchronized to your visibility limit, precise glare management, and rested human biology. Applying these disciplines shifts your role behind the wheel. You are no longer a passive participant hoping to make it through the dark. You become an active, preemptive manager of risk. By manipulating the physics of the machine and respecting the limitations of the human body, the inherent dangers of the night are safely neutralized, leaving a clear, predictable path forward through the darkness.